How's it going today? Today we're going to review some stocks I picked, like I always do. It's another really great group of stocks that came through and they basically beat the market, and we're going to get right into it. So hopefully you can too. Hopefully you're subscribed so you don't miss any of this. If you missed these stocks, I can leave a link down the thing. I still recommended them and everything like that. So hopefully you guys make sure to subscribe and get these daily. I like doing them daily. Sometimes my internet's a little messed up and can't upload it for some reason. YouTube wants to be weird and whatever. But I always do, and I always review them. This month's been kind of hectic, with our earnings, making videos, making this. Hopefully I get it all done. If I miss anything, leave a comment, say, hey, you missed this, go back and do it. Anyway, here's another review. I'm just going to jump right into it. It was on Cashless Society, so basically it was all the money going, like fintech, stuff like that. We're going to get right into it. You all know these companies. I mean, they're great companies. I go from the worst to the best. I leave the best for last, like I always do, like cherry on top. But anyway, the worst was actually PayPal. But actually the market was up 3%. So essentially that's what we're trying to beat. That's the baseline. I mean, why pick stocks if you can't beat the market? But anyway, the baseline is 3%. So essentially, PayPal went up 10% over this 3-month period. I always say go long on these stocks. Hold them for at least 3 years or even longer if you can. I mean, if they're great companies, I go hold on to them basically dead. That's really the goal. But anyway, PayPal had a great thing. A lot of these are consumer, basically. Every single time, basically how to think about it. These companies, how I think about it, every single time the customer spends money, people spend money, they get a percentage of that transaction. So essentially, that's how they make money. So obviously, if the economy's doing good, consumer confidence is up. Every single time you go to PayPal and use the PayPal online or wherever, PayPal gets a percentage of that. So essentially, that's why it's went up. You know what I mean? So it's just going to keep following them. Consumer, if retail does good, all that, e-commerce, all that. So essentially, PayPal could get part of that. So essentially, that's why these companies are really, really good. The next company is actually Visa. Visa card, if you have a Visa card in your wallet. That's what this company does. I mean, they're really the king at it. They're the king of cashless card, cashless money. So essentially, every single time you swipe your card, they make money. Every single time you swipe your card. So think about all the billions and billions of people around the world. Especially in America, that's where they're 100% based. Think of all the people going around swiping their cards, their credit cards, all that. Visa gets a percentage of that. So essentially, as you can see, that stock was up 11%. So essentially, that's what it is. And now the next company is, I'm gonna spend a little more time talking about this one. This one's a little more well, maybe not complex, but it's the smallest company, so it's a little more volatile. So essentially, and the next company is Square company. It's actually up 12%, so beating triple the market. Well, actually, what? 4 times the market, actually. Up 4 times on the market. I mean, that's pretty damn good. Over last, but there's a big but. The stock actually got hit. So essentially, I don't know if that would cause a lot of people to sell. People say sell at 7%, which I think that's stupid. I mean, selling a stock just because it went down 7%, are you crazy? That's stupid. But if you're a trader, you probably already sold out of this stock because I recommended it at 72, I think, and it went all the way down to 60. So essentially, I actually was buying in because I believe in the company. I was like, oh, that's over. So, and basically what happened was this analyst guy came out and said that Square is no good, blah, 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 blah. He was downgrading it to a sell. And then the reason it came back all the way back up to 82 is the same guy in a 2-month span came back and said, oh, well, maybe I was wrong. And the stock went up. I mean, that's just kind of stupid. And that's what really goes on in the market sometimes. Just, golly knows, and really, and I don't understand why people listen to the people. You know what I mean? I don't understand why they do. It's authority bias. Maybe I could get into that. I could make another video on biases and stuff, but it's authority bias. This guy's a hot shot from this, investment bank or whatever. He's a hot shot from this guy. He's wearing a nice suit. He must be rich. He must know what he's talking about. So everybody believes him. Just like if, authority bias is basically like let's say if I'm a cop, you know what I mean? And I tell you, let's say someone's running down the street and I got to step out of my car and say, stop. You know what I mean? They probably won't listen. But let's if I was dressed up in the police uniform and say, stop, they're probably gonna stop. You know what I mean? Nothing really changed except what I'm wearing. So essentially, that's authority bias, and that's really what happened here. And it's just it's just stupid. People do dumb things. Anyway, you sit back and go, oh, who is this guy? And hell, he might be a short seller too. So you never know what their motives are. Maybe it was wrong. Maybe I don't really know him. I don't really know why he said that. I mean, maybe it was wrong. Or maybe he said it too much and the market overreact. Maybe, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. But that's why you really, every single time they downgrade a stock, normally I buy it, because normally it pushes the stock to, like, Apple got downgrade and I bought into that. Actually, I bought call options on that, and around 190 198 excuse me. Then the call options were up, it was 200, so essentially now it's sitting at about 204, so I made money on that. So essentially you just got, and really in the market you just have to really go in there, you know what I mean? And that's what options are, and swing trade and stuff like that. It's like hunting. You just have to, as soon as you see the opportunity, you just have to take the shot, you know what I mean? And the next company, that's Square, it does like some small business. So it's essentially, well, let's say you go to the flea market, they have this little chip on their phone and you swipe it and it does that. So it's great business. It does great things. Anyway, the number one stock is MasterCard. MasterCard went up 14%. MasterCard is just chugging along, doing basically what Visa's doing, but it's taking its time and expanding. Not in America. So essentially it's expanding in America, of course. But I mean, if you ever watched, like, the perfect example was when you watch all them soccer games over this, whenever that was, and you always hear MasterCard, because basically MasterCard is taking over Europe and stuff like that, because they're like the number one player in Europe. So essentially they're going into these emerging markets. So essentially that's why growth for MasterCard has a little more growth in it, but a little more risky. They're going into different things, but they're still a big player in thing. That's up 14. It's crushed the market. But anyway, so really, really good. So anyway, that's really stocks. I did the numbers on it. If you put $1,000 in each one, on average, you're up 11.5%. On the cashless society, so you would have $4,444. Sorry about that. My brain just gave out there. And if you put in the S&P, you got 3%. You're up $4,220. So essentially, that's a difference of $320. So essentially, if you would just pick these stocks and just held them all the way through, and then it didn't double down or bought anymore, especially Square when it bought down. Actually, if you bought Square when it hit the bottom or close to it, you would have been up almost 20-30%. So essentially, but I do, when I picked it, of course, and I didn't really make a video recommend it then. I should have, but I got a lot of things to do. Make sure you like the Facebook, because normally that's where I post things like this. I can leave a link down there. Make sure you subscribe so you get all these notifications when I make these calls. Maybe I'm gonna make more videos. I get monthly things. I just did a stock that could make you a lot of money. The rich, the swinging for the fences, I like to call them. I can leave a link down there so you can get that one too. And that stock is actually up 7% today as I'm filming this. It might sell off, it may not, it might go up. But anyway, make sure you subscribe to get them videos in your thing. And it's a great thing to subscribe, especially a lot of these YouTube channels. I subscribe to the majority of all of them, because you always have to surround yourself with good people, like-minded people that know what they're doing. I mean, obviously you can look at all the reviews I do. I beat the market on every single one of them so far. I'm not gonna get ahead of myself. The market can do whatever it wants, and it's a living, breathing machine almost. It does what it wants regardless of what I think. But anyway, but you see a lot of these people, and they go like all the Kim Kardashians, they keep up with them, and they go surround themselves with these. But these people are just trying to get rich off you, you know what I mean? And then they go pass some guy like me up and say I'm a scam and say I'm this and every nasty word in the book. But you know what I mean? But really, it's just the way it is. So essentially, that's why I always like people. That's why I join all the Facebook groups that I'm in. I really, really like that, because every single time I go on Facebook, I get surrounded with people that are like-minded people that are investors just like me. So essentially, and I learned a lot from it. So essentially, and especially if they're different, I always, somebody, once in a while they could come across something good. They could share some good content. So I always joined all the Facebook groups I can. I try to stay involved with them. I subscribe to all the kind of the YouTube channels that thing. So it's good. It's a good idea to surround yourself with stuff like this. It's just how you. It's one of these skills nobody really talks about in the stock market. It's called just basically networking. It's kind of just getting out there, knowing what's going on, hearing things, reading a lot. Warren Buffett, he sits in his office. I was reading this thing. He reads 8 hours a day. I mean, what do you think he's reading? He's reading on these companies. He's reading the next thing, what these companies do. I mean, that's what he's reading. I mean, he's trying to stay informed. He's surrounding himself by educated people. People that write them things. I don't know. He actually doesn't say. Never know what he reads all day, but I guarantee it's about stocks. Maybe it's the Wall Street Journal, Forbes, all that stuff. Maybe not all that stuff, but I mean, I'm sure the 10Ks. I mean, he just surrounds himself with this stuff, and that's really what you have to really do. So essentially, make sure you like it, subscribe to it, so you get daily things and all that. And it's just a good idea to do it anyway. You might learn something. Hopefully, you do. Anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you.